You're impressed at what?
The Apple shenanigans, like,
Oh, this morning.
yeah, that I feel like they usually have things a lot more dialed, and then this morning was just kind of chaos.
I was checking Twitter and I didn't see any other person who had logistics issues.
It might have just been, like a shipping thing, but like I specifically pre-ordered this phone, and they were only out of one phone, and they didn't let me pick up
everyone?
Yeah, it was like your entire order, like they wouldn't release half of it, so we had to go and get a separate one. But,
that's so strange.
Yeah, it was a surprise. But they're really chill, like they tried to work with us.
Our local Apple store's pretty great.
Yeah.
Craig said they had donuts again?
Yes.
That's so sweet.
But they couched them as leftover donuts this time. They're like, hey, we got some leftover donuts.
Wait, what?
Because
they brought leftover donuts?
Well, they brought them like for their team, and then like whatever the team didn't eat, I guess. But this was happening right as I was walking up, so I could have like misheard the story. So I'm not trying to slander.
Kate says, hi, Sam and Kay Kay. What up, Kate? We love you. Well, that's pretty cool. So good morning, everybody. Happy iPhone Teardown Day, Sam.
Yeah, happy. A little bit stressful.
Yeah. So I'm Kay Kay.
I'm Sam.
And we're going to be taking apart the iPhone 11 Pro here in a little bit. We'll let a few more people come join us. Sam was just telling me about her experience at the Apple Store this morning. So we had a nice early morning fright. We woke up and all of our pre-orders were kind of canceled.
We just got a text that said, ambiguously, your order has been, you can't pick it up. It's been delayed. So we went down to the store and chatted them about it. And they're like, well, yes, but no, but yes, but... So we got a separate one. So waking up at 5 a.m. was just completely pointless.
I like the 5 a.m. pre-orders. I'd like to know what you guys like or don't like if you did pre-order. I am not a night person, so I can't stay up very late.
I absolutely am.
Waking up early is definitely better for me. But yeah. Cool, and I think we're gonna get started. You're all here to watch us tear down the iPhone 11 Pro, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm Kay Kay. I do all sorts of different things here, and...
I'm Sam. I'm the lead teardown engineer. I'm in charge of the team here who's doing the teardowns.
So it's a real treat to have Sam here. She doesn't come to the video studio often, so I'm really stoked to have her by my side today. Kelsey is not here. She is at a wedding. Who gets married on iPhone Teardown Day? It's just not acceptable.
Today is the day, I tell you what.
Yeah, today is the day. There's
day.
A lot of things going on today. Things that aren't going on. We're not in Australia. This is one of the first years we kept the team home. It's much easier for us to do teardowns in our studio. I get to have Sam here, which is great.
It's nice not being upside down. Australia, they live a hard life.
And y'all wait for our teardowns either way, so thank you for that. And we are going to do a giveaway on this live stream. So we just put a new product on sale yesterday. This is our Marlin Screwdriver Set, and it was designed specifically for iPhones, so it has all the drive styles you need to get into the iPhone. It's what Sam will be using today, and I will do some sort of fun giveaway a little bit later, and you can comment to win. And this is really just kind of the beginning of teardown season.
Oh yeah, this is early days. You've got so much to look forward to.
So right after this, we'll be tearing down the iPhone 11 Pro Max over on iFixit. We'll be doing it in real time, so you can refresh as we go, and we'll be posting steps and photos in real time. And then we've got the iPhone 11, a Nintendo Switch, and just so many more teardowns next week.
Apple Watch.
Apple Watch, oh yeah, that one too. Yep. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow all of our social channels so you can be the first to see all of our wonderful teardowns. All right, I'll stop talking and we'll start taking things apart. Okay, unboxing time.
Unboxing. I like that it kind of matches you.
It does kind of match me.
It's very Boba Fett happening right now.
Oh, I have a Boba Fett jacket at my desk. Okay. Ooh. Oh, wow, that totally matches my jacket.
Yeah, it really does.
Cool.
It's fairly green. It looked very gray in the promo materials.
It did.
Is it me now?
I think it's you now.
The handoff of the actual device. Pretty cool.
So we also have an iPhone XS here on the teardown table with us, which we thought it would be nice to do some comparison shots. So that's what you see Sam has on the table.
So the first thing that we notice here is the iPhone is missing from the back. You can't really tell because it's super shiny, and there's a centered Apple logo. And that centered Apple logo, some people have speculated that it's about the balancing the cameras against that. So because they're so freaking huge, you need to like lower the Apple logo down. But it could also be a good target for wireless charging to aim for. So
Yep.
We'll see if that reverse wireless charging evidence is in here or not.
So if you guys have any questions during the teardown, I'll do my best to keep up with the chat. It's a very noisy chat, so I will try to answer them in there, but go ahead and drop them in, and we will get through them as fast as we can.
Step one for any iPhone teardown is obviously the pentalobe screws, which are the proprietary screws that are trying to keep you out of your device.
Yeah, so
They
Apple,
look about the same.
They do, cool. Apple came out with the pentalobe screw in the iPhone 4. We first saw it in the iPhone 4. Back when we tore down the iPhone 4, we didn't have a pentalobe driver. Now we do, and you can get it in our Marlin driver set, and that's what Sam's using right now. And even though the pentalobe is Apple's proprietary screw, we started seeing it in like Huawei's P9 and Meizu's MX6.
Yeah, which is, it's not a good screw.
It's
It's
not.
not like, oh, we picked the right screw and everyone's copying us because reasons. Like, no, it's just because Apple had a screw and they're really excited about it. So I'm just going to see really quickly if we can get into this without heat. Probably no chance, but thought I'd give it a shot. It is still IP68
Yeah,
rated,
so the iPhone 11 Pro and the iPhone 10s, they both got the same IP68 rating. And we're just going to turn the power on that heat gun and we'll be off. So they both got the same IP68 rating, but the iPhone 11 Pro has a maximum depth of 4 meters for up to 30 minutes, and the iPhone 10s claimed depth of 2 meters for 30 minutes. So we were wondering if we would see any more evidence of more water resistance or dust proofing inside of the phone.
So far, nothing. I didn't see anything on the pentalobe screws.
And we didn't really see anything last year either, even though it got a nice little IP spec bump. We did test last year's phone and beer. We are not testing this year's phone in our beer tube. But this is actually the phone from our beer tube last year, and it still works, and we use it for making guides and all sorts of things. So
Good. I was really hoping that we could do like a purse shake live stream. That would have been pretty cool.
just 30 minutes of shaking in a purse.
30 minutes of shaking in a purse. Probably got a little ambitious there and it needs a little more heat.
Okay, can you give me the phone after the teardown? We gotta make guides. I'm sorry. So everyone always wonders what we do with our devices after we take them apart, and we actually make guides out of them so you guys can fix your stuff. We make a lot of guides in-house, or we have an EDU program, so we actually send devices to like 100 different schools across the country, and then as a part of their technical writing program, they will take apart devices, write a repair guide, and so you get repair guides, they get training on how to do technical writing, and everybody wins, but they're the ones who get our devices. And Sam
Or my team.
Or Sam's team, yeah. Sam's team makes a lot of guides as well.
So this is coming apart slowly. It's really goopy in there. And the display is surprisingly thick too. I think that's about standard though. So I'm not doing a good job of showing the camera here. You can slowly see it.
Oh, they're
Yep.
starting to come out.
Oh boy.
So getting phones open is like, I would say the hardest part. Well, that and battery strips.
Battery strips are like, at least they're intended to be removed.
Yeah.
Like Apple's like, okay, all right, we're gonna let you have this one thing, except that of course we'll complain and the health indicator will say like, oh no,
Your battery
your
isn't
battery isn't
registering.
valid, which is silly. And I don't know if you can imagine that like happening in a car where it's like, oh sorry, you filled up with like non-proprietary air. Can't do that.
We won't measure your air anymore.
Yeah.
All right, so comments are flooding in. A lot of people are asking about 3D touch. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but correct, there is no 3D touch,
Yeah.
and no, I don't miss it.
I never really
I never got into it.
used to it.
Yep.
It was just not universal enough. It seemed like, okay, cool idea in theory, but do something with it.
And can you 3D touch? I thought 4D touch. Nope.
Yeah, it was about the same as in previous years. No big surprises yet.
People are wondering if they're using stronger glue this time.
I don't think so. I think I just was like just really impatient and didn't give it enough time with the heat gun. Just got really excited. But
So
it's opening
we're
now.
getting a little bit of snark about using the heat gun. So if we weren't doing this live,
Oh yeah. Oh, this is absolutely. This is speed run.
yeah, we're doing this as fast as possible to give you guys the first glance and to let Sam return to her team and do another teardown right after this. But we would absolutely be using the ice glack and going a lot slower and not trying to
With the eye
damage
opener.
the phone. The eye opener. Thank you.
Yeah, this is teardown mode. This is like trying to get in as quickly as possible. This is not the safest method. If you want to make sure that your battery is going to stay happy and your phone will actually keep working afterwards, the eye opener is the way to go. It's going to be safe heat all the way and much easier to manage.
Yeah, but we like to say that our teardowns, like, we'll break our device first, so you don't have to break yours.
Exactly.
Teardowns are the first time we're ever getting into this phone. This is the first time Sam has seen this, and whoop, there it is.
Yeah, so this is pretty much exactly the same as last year, opening to the right like this.
Yep.
So all the cables are in a slightly different place. They're towards the center of the logic board. We've got this like great bracket that just covers the middle instead of down the side. So
Yeah, so ever since the iPhone 7, iPhones opened like a book. Previous to that, they opened from the top. And so Sam is going to free the display connectors.
hopefully battery first.
Battery
it looks like
first,
maybe
yes.
down here and maybe down here. We've got two battery cables.
Yeah, so that's a first.
Yeah, definitely. We've also got an L-shaped battery, which is immediately obvious here. Only the 10S, not the XS, I can remember these things, have the single L-shaped battery with one cell, as opposed to the Max, which had the two-cell battery.
So this is the first time we've ever seen two battery connectors in a phone. And this is probably our first hint at bilateral charging, maybe.
Yeah, it could well be. It's kind of a way to, if you have two connectors, it looks like we've got one here down by the charging port, that could better manage things going into the battery. And then over here is going to be powering the phone, basically.
So you wouldn't shoot power throughout the board. And
Yeah,
everywhere
across
else.
the logic board. Got a lot of gaskets around the connectors, which is pretty standard these days for waterproofing. Gonna get this bracket off of the charging port.
And a lot of people are asking about battery capacity, and we will definitely be weighing batteries and doing a deep dive into batteries a little bit later.
Yeah.
So
Looking at this right here, it looks like maybe it's quite thick, I think.
oh yeah, it definitely does look thick. So without 3D Touch this year, so 3D Touch required extra sensors and another layer below the display. So now that we don't have that, we should be able to free up some space potentially for what we first glance looks like a thicker battery.
For more in-depth specs, of course, we will have our upcoming step-by-step teardown, which will have a lot more detail as far as chip ID and actual watt-hour comparison. I'm just trying to rush through. Got some spring contacts on this, just to show you guys what's inside. We've got all kinds of connectors in here. I think this one's the battery connector. So battery is safely disconnected, which is nice. We don't have to take off this giant shield here. But two shields over two different battery connectors is a little annoying as far as battery safety goes. But
Yeah.
take what I can get.
It is nice though, you know, everyone thinks we're kind of the anti-Apple company, and we're definitely not. We just really like repair. And so I like to give props where props should be given, and Apple definitely, their display first opening procedure is really nice for repair.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone seems to be doing the glass front and glass back deal, and so does Apple, and that kind of sucks, but at least you can get to the screen first.
Yeah.
So if you drop it in the parking lot on your way out of the Apple store,
That didn't just happen.
there's some hope for you.
Yeah, and a lot of Android and just other smartphones that we see, you have to kind of bury through all of the components and like pretty much do a full disassembly before you can even get to the display, and even getting the display out, you can do a ton of damage to it. So yay Apple for giving us an easily removable display. They also gave us a nice long display cable this time. I think it was the iPhone 5 and the SE that had like the short booby-trapped cable, so you'd open up your phone.
At the very bottom.
Yeah, and you'd have like this much room, and so a lot of people were ripping their display cable because you didn't know that was there.
Yeah.
If you're ever doing a repair on iFixit, I always tell people to read the guide in full before you get started. You can see us make those mistakes, so you don't have to. So you don't have to rip any cables, or so you would know that there's 2 battery connectors. Also, expand all the comments. We have people from all over the world fixing their phones with iFixit, and they put a lot of great tips and tricks in the comments, which is really nice.
We got the display off here. We try and cover all the bases as much as we can as technical writers, but there's always going to be someone who's had a very specific experience with a very specific problem that's valuable. This display looks about the same. We've got kind of that display-mounted speaker. We've got the similar Face ID kind of arrangement. I think this chip shield is a little bit bigger than last year, so we'll be looking under that in our teardown.
You would know best. Yeah, so we'll do a full chip ID when we get to our teardown later today. We actually have some of our tech writers working on that now, so we'll hope to get that up soon.
So what do you think? Logic board, cameras? Looks like maybe cameras will come out first.
So many shields.
Yeah, a lot of options. I'll go for the cameras. We've got more tri-points on here, which is in our kit, Y000, tiny, tiny screws. Can't decide if I like them more or less than Penelobes. They seem to strip out less, which is nice.
I just got called out
real small
for not watching the comments. I'm sorry, they're just coming so fast.
She's just too fascinated by my actions.
Yeah, I'm just so fascinated with Sam. So for those of you wondering how much RAM it has, we'll be investigating that in our full teardown over on iFixit later. So we will get to that. We won't break the flex cable. Got it. Thank you for that tip. Wow.
Check.
Wow. Me too. Cool. You want to see the triple cameras? And Sam will give you a...
Yeah, I'm going for that. It's like
we're going to get to that next. And so if you can see it, Sam is organizing all of her screws on our magnetic mat.
Oh yeah, this is, it's messy. Oh, it's real messy, but it's something. I'll know where they go.
So it's really important to keep your screws and just components organized. It doesn't have to be with magnetic mat, but all of the screws, they're super tiny and they're actually different lengths. So if you put a screw back in the wrong place when you're reassembling your phone, you can actually do damage to your phone. I may or may not have done that. You can damage the logic board. So we really like the magnetic mat.
There's a lot of other ways to do it, though. We get tons of suggestions in our comments. People use like egg cartons or
shot glasses,
like, the back of a sticky note.
And that's like one of my favorite parts about working at iFixit, just hearing all of the wonderful repair tips and hacks from you guys. And I'm wondering if, that might be a good chance for a giveaway. Oh, there are the cameras. Looks like Wally.
Yeah, it really does. It's kind of alarming. Or like the screaming.
Oh yeah, now I can't unsee that. The mat, yeah.
Yeah. Also an emoji. You guys may know it better from the emoji than the work of art. So interestingly, we've got like bare cameras on the back side. You can see they're just like mounted into the single frame. So we can probably push these cameras out. But we'll probably save that for the main teardown. We'll also have X-rays. Creative Electron.
Oh yeah.
It's actually in our parking lot.
With an X-ray van.
Like they're like superheroes or something. They have an X-ray van. It's ridiculous.
An X-ray van. Maybe, I don't know what I would X-ray with an X-ray van.
Everything, obviously.
I guess.
Lunch, you just have like a perfect Instagram of like
just
all
lunch
your X-rays.
X-rays.
Great.
What did Kay Kay eat today?
So we'll look into that later as far as cameras go. Yep, they're cameras. We found 3 of them.
There they are.
Okay, I'm gonna try and go for the logic board, I think, to leave some room for the battery, and then we'll try and get the battery out.
Cool. And so while Sam is getting the logic board out, I want to give away some tools. So if you guys want to drop in your favorite repair tip, trick, hack, go ahead and drop it in the comments now, and I will raffle off a couple. Oh, no, I won't raffle. I will pick my favorite. Sam and I will pick our favorite repair tips, and we will announce winners and give them the Marlin Screwdriver Set that Sam's using to work on the phone right now, and we'll do that later today, maybe at noon PST, because that feels right.
Yeah, a little lunch snack.
Yeah, a little snack. And you would love to have a good set of screwdrivers, Chris. Don't we all? How much RAM can you sense in it? Like with the Force?
Over 9,000. Is that the appropriate internet response? Too far?
Sure.
Too much?
Maybe?
So again, we've got standoffs here, and our iPhone standoff driver is handling those beautifully. You can also use a flathead to unscrew them most of the time. It just doesn't quite seat as well. The worst part for not having a standoff bit is when you're trying to screw these bits or these screws back in. You have to like use the tip of a spudger to kind of like push it in there, and it's like really annoying. So having the actual driver is pretty good. Got a really messy desk now.
And so Sam is getting out the logic board. And so keep in mind, we're not going to do full chip ID here on this live stream. It would just take a really long amount of time. And so all of the chips that we see on the board, ooh,
these just popped out. There was no screws. Well,
that was really fast.
there were some screws holding this like little bracket thing down, but I'm just gonna put those aside before I lose them.
Yeah.
I just keep interrupting you.
No,
Are you
it's
saying
fine.
important things?
No, not really. I'm just
stopped
rambling.
The logic board is like real square this time. So we've got like, instead of the like P flag shaped kind of thing going on, we have just a rectangle. I think it's maybe the same volume. You can see. Maybe.
Hard to tell.
Yeah. We'll dig more into that later, but it's definitely still double decker. It's real thick.
So if you guys remember, we first saw the stacked logic board in, well, no, I guess we actually first saw, fun fact, the stacked logic board in the original iPhone.
Yeah.
Sam is laughing.
I didn't eject the SIM, which I never do. I absolutely always forget to eject it, which is like, it's the first thing. It's like right there on the outside, but I'm never there. So here we go. We're going to eject the SIM real quick before I bust the logic board.
But,
Pro tip, eject the SIM tray first.
Oh, there we go.
It's definitely much easier now.
All right, now we are for real getting out the logic board.
Probably.
Probably, maybe. Sim slut. Thank you guys for your encouragement. You use tape to keep the screws. Man, these are just going real fast. Where do we get the phones from? So we got the phones from the Apple Store this morning. There was a little bit of a hiccup because
they tried to cancel my order. I woke up at 5 a.m. and they tried to like, no, I'm sorry, come back in a couple days. Like, excuse me, a couple days?
Yeah, we were kind of in a mad panic this morning as we approached the Apple Store and our orders were canceled.
So about the same. Looks like we've got a soldered on SIM tray. And otherwise it looks about the same. Gosh, these things are so tiny. Can you imagine this is a phone brain right here?
That's a phone brain.
Which is, it's like your computer brain. Like everyone has these phones all the time, and that's like pretty much everything that's managing it, unless there's a second board that we're not aware of. All right, I'm gonna take off some brackets, and I think we're gonna go for the battery next. There's a ton of tri-points in here.
All right. You use iFixit tools like crazy at work. That's exciting. Someone just asked if we're going to remove the battery, and we are here in a little bit.
Right there with you, buddy.
Yeah. So we will be doing that soon.
Looks like we've still got pull tabs. I see at least one on the top, which is nice.
Someone's asking why they canceled the orders. I don't think they did it on purpose.
We live in a relatively small little town. I don't know if you guys know that we're based in San Luis Obispo. It's one of the happiest places to live, according to Oprah.
I was going to say,
think
that's what Oprah says. Don't question Oprah.
But we don't get a ton of stock here in our Apple Store. So I think they just like miscalculated, or the bus was late, or I'm not exactly sure. But
we usually pre-order all sorts of phones because we're paranoid. So Claire over at UPS, she should get a shout out.
Shout out to Claire.
Yeah,
shout out to Claire.
She helps hold our devices for us, and we have a good relationship with her. And we pick up a lot of our devices from there. And so you want to see the back of the phone with the cameras out.
This is a tiny Tactic engine. I'm just realizing this is so small.
Oh wow, yeah, that is.
It's like, I don't know, 2/3 the size? Probably not less than that, but.
Gotta make room for the bigger everything, the bigger battery.
I think I'm gonna try and pop that out just so I have more room to get to the battery connector.
Are we going to do a screen replacement video? Not today, but in time we will. We'll have full guides ready for all of these devices as soon as our tech writers sleep and we can get them out. We're gonna be in a marathon of teardowns for the next week or so. So we will try to keep up with guides whenever we can.
Yeah, don't really recommend doing it the way that I did it. You could probably like watch the stream after and maybe make it happen, but not the safest.
We got another question about waterproofing. So Sam and I have been on the lookout to see if there's any extra seals or gaskets around the components. Opening procedure felt the same, so no evidence of additional waterproofing so far.
Yeah, the pentalobe seem about the same. We do still have that gasket around the sim tray, so there's that. The adhesive is pretty much the same, I think. We've still got the all black instead of the kind of two-part adhesive that they've been using previously. So, I don't know, seems the same to me. It may come down to the mesh they use on the speaker grill or, you know, some relatively minor thing. So there's the Taptic engine.
Do we think that iPhones are becoming too big to hold?
I think we have like relatively small hands, but like we just double hand it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels all right.
After the success, everything.
Yeah.
We both held up. Sam and I are weirdly on the same upgrade cycle. We have upgraded our phones one right after the other at the same time. So we held on to our iPhone 6S for, I don't know, 4 years? A long time.
Yeah, it was a while.
And now we both have the 10S. People are wondering all sorts of things about the battery. Again, on our teardown on iFixit, we're going to be taking apart the iPhone 11 Pro Max, and we'll do some battery weights then. Ooh, pull strip.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
That was my favorite thing that's happened
Don't worry about it. It was just a little bit of a Protect tumble. I forgot that I put it like right behind my hand.
No Protect
I'm glad
for
I didn't
harm.
have a glass of water there. Anyway, look, I still got the strip.
Oh man.
Oh wow, that was something.
That was great.
Oh, I think that was the entire strip.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
So
it looks like a lot of it.
I've only successfully gotten a strip out once, and I've done dozens of battery replacements.
You just don't have the touch. I'm just kidding. You
no,
don't.
I absolutely don't. I go way too fast, and they're I cheat and I use iFixit adhesive remover, and I swirl that around in the battery well because
that definitely makes it a lot
strips
easier.
are hard. I know Kelsey likes to heat the back of the battery to get the
Yeah,
strips to be a
help.
little bit more pliable. I am just very impatient.
You've probably also been mostly working on older phones, and I think the adhesive does stiffen up. I mean, this is like a day one phone, so I think we've still got a lot of elasticity in here. Usually the trick is to pull evenly, just so you have like even pressure and you're not like letting it bunch up or wrinkle on one side.
Extra 10 points if you do it with the Protect next to you.
Just punch it onto the floor.
Yeah,
it helps.
That's the. Someone is saying wiggle the strip back and forth. I've done that before. That kind of.
Yeah. I don't
know.
You can probably manage that.
ASMR strip. Yes. Can we do a full video?
Should I like
get it near the.
Oh yeah. Oh, it looks like they've got a cutout for the wireless charger again because I got one strip let go and not the other. Kind of sounds like dragging a finger across a balloon. It's weird. Okay, all right, guys. You have to appreciate that I got both of these strips out completely intact. That's amazing.
That's my favorite day.
I'm gonna keep that. It didn't even wrinkle up.
Just can we frame it? Put it next to your desk?
Oh, it's really gross. All right, never mind. Okay, so I think that there was just 2 strips. Oh, maybe I lied. Maybe it didn't come out the back.
There might be.
Is there a 3rd strip?
Well, there's a second battery connector. You never know. They're just.
Could be anything. I think I lied, and maybe the first one didn't quite come out. I'm gonna try and do a little bit of prying.
All right. What's our audience saying after we just manhandled?
Are you proud of me? Are you proud of me, audience?
Are you guys proud of Sam? She should definitely come back, right? I think so. 100 points to Hufflepuff. My Hufflepuff over here. Is that bubblegum? No, that's not bubblegum.
Oh, did I? No, that's not. Not that. It would be really gross bubblegum. I think it would not taste very good. Oh, there's another strip. How do I get to that one? You probably can't see down in the... No, you can't see. But there's a strip down there, and I can't access it from the other side. It's like on the side. Oh, it's huge! Okay, I lied. Hang on. Okay, this is another strip. I thought it was just the tape over the battery board, but there's a third strip down here. Sorry, Apple, that was my bad. Listen, if you put out instructions, I would really be able to do this a lot faster and easier. So I'm just saying, like, put guides out. It's fine. I don't mind if you, like, put us out of the business. It's great. It's great. Yeah, there's another strip right here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, like,
going a different angle?
Strips. I don't know if I can get both at once. Let's try and do one. That's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I didn't need that anymore.
We didn't need that tool. We didn't want it there. It was looking at me funny. I didn't like it. Oh!
Got it. I got it. I got it out.
Full of sound effects this morning.
So yeah, there was this third strip here, and it starts with like 2. It's like a V or a U. So if you break one, you just keep pulling the other.
Huh.
And then it works, I guess. So 3 strips. One on this side, one on the bottom, and then one on the top. And then that kind of, they cut out around the wireless charging coil, which is cool, because then you don't damage that if you're prying, I guess. So like,
Yeah, I ripped my antenna connector once.
goes around
the battery.
like that. Yeah, pretty handy. These pull tabs are pretty cool. It's a lot easier than trying to pry the Samsung battery out of the hole, unless you're using the adhesive remover, in which case, like, all right, fine. Mostly intact, hasn't blown up. Very cool. I love it. One thing to note here is like a corner missing for some reason. That's not me. I didn't dent that corner when I like accidentally kind of like flung it out of the phone. But square corner, bent corner. Not sure what that means exactly. It could be a battery chemistry kind of issue. Like we've got this cutout here. This is round. It looks square, but if you can see, there's like a little deeper cutout. You can also tell this in our x-rays where there's kind of like that corner on there. I was telling my team that like, oh yeah, it's like how you can microwave some metal as long as it's like thick enough and like the right shape, but you can't microwave like foil or something. So, I mean, that's probably not at all like that. But as far as, you know, there are very specific science, chemistry questions in here, and they're good at batteries. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so we've got batteries out. If we compare the backs, the charging coils look about the same, but we've got kind of different cable routing happening here. So over here on the upper left side, we've got cables that go out to the volume control buttons, and also I think there's like a sensor of some kind that's out there. But then this cable that goes down to the charging board is new, as opposed to in the 10S here. So, reverse wireless charging confirmed.
Maybe.
I mean, confirmed? Maybe?
I mean, it's definitely...
It's going to the charging board.
Yeah, why would it be there?
So the other option is, well, obviously this has to go to the charging board because that's the thing. So it might go through the logic board last time, and this one is just a more direct connection in the Pro. So I don't know.
So we're not looking for an additional coil. There seemed to be some confusion of like actually looking for.
The coils can look exactly the same. And okay, here's like a hot take for you. What if there was reverse wireless charging last year too?
Yeah. It looks the same. I mean, when we saw, what was it, the S10 that had reverse wireless charging, there was just like a huge beefy cooling system, and don't see any additional thing in there, just the extra battery connector. So maybe.
Yeah, they did mention better cooling. I don't really see a super ton of evidence of that. We've got some additional, like, I think it's a graphite kind of insulation pad there. So it's possible. There's like less in this one. But I'm just saying, conspiracy, maybe. Maybe it's real.
Maybe. Cool. Well, I think that kind of brings us to the end of our teardown. You want to take more things apart, or?
I don't know. Everything pretty much looks the same. It looks like the speaker's a little bit different, so you won't be able to swap those out, probably. We'll do more detailed part swapping analysis later. But as far as like the interesting stuff, I think we've done about all we can do. I briefly pulled up this charging cable, and it is soldered on there, so I can't just like rip that off and be like, oh yeah, never mind. It's just the volume cable that goes down to the charging port for some reason.
But we'll be able to ID some chips and see if there's any.
We'll have a ton more content.
Yeah, we'll be able to learn more about potential bilateral charging after our full teardown. And let's see if there's any other questions. Battery capacity on the battery. There's specs online already.
Oh yeah, everything's available online. We've got 11.67 watt hours.
Can you show the back of the phone? People are curious about that.
It still looks the same.
Still, yeah, there it is. And can we see?
Oh, but confirmed. It's like definitely, it's thicker, right?
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
My naked eye says it looks thicker.
We'll get some calipers on there.
What do I know?
We'll see how that looks.
Cool. So I guess thanks for joining us for this stream. I hope you had fun. We definitely had a little too much fun. If you want to drop in a repair tip for a chance to win the Marlin Screwdriver Set that Sam was using for this teardown, go ahead and drop a comment into our live chat now. And definitely be sure to head on over to iFixit. I think you guys are going to get the teardown up at some point.
In a couple hours?
In a couple
probably.
hours.
We'll see how far the team did.
Yeah, and they'll be tearing down the iPhone 11 Pro Max, doing it live, so you can refresh the steps as you go. Everyone's asking about the RAM. You'll have to check out our teardown for the RAM as well. But other than that, I think we're done. Thank you for coming on. This was fun. High five. Aw, yeah. All right, well, take care, everybody.
See ya. That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. That was really fast.
Yeah.